I'm Gail Simpson. I live in White Rock, British Columbia, and I am a painting teacher. I own a palette of fun paint parties, and I'm going to show you how to paint this beautiful cherry blossom painting in less than 20 minutes. First of all, I want to show you, I took an old canvas and I just whitewashed over it. There was a bear under here before. So you can take an old canvas or a piece of cardboard, and you can use crayons or pastels or watercolor, anything you have to be creative. So first things first, we're going to do our background, and I'm using a big brush, and I'm going to dip into my blue, and the colors that you need for this painting are blue, black, white, and pink or purple, whichever. So I'm going to start painting this blue around in a circular motion just to get some paint on the canvas to cover up a bit of that background that was on there before. The brushes that you need for this painting are just a large brush of any kind and a small brush. So I have that done. Now I'm going to pick up some blue and just a dot of black, just a dot, because I want to turn this into a bit of a night sky. So remember, when you're adding your black, you want to add about the size of a piece of chili pepper, nothing bigger, because black really overtakes the painting. So as I just add this darker blue with some black in it, you can see that it's starting to become a bit more of a night sky. And that will really make our moon pop. So I'm going to bring it probably to about there. And I'm going to clean my brush off really, really well. And then I'm going to go into my white, which I just need to get on my palette right now. There we go. I have some white. So I'm going to start with a white circle in the middle here. It's about a 2-inch circle, and I'm going to work my way out. And you can see now that that beautiful blue is starting to blend, blend. You just keep going in circles with lots of patience. Keep breathing. Enjoy. Just go round and round and round. And look at how gorgeous that is. Now I'll go back into this corner with some blue, a little touch of black, and finish up this side. Bringing it right up to my moon. Remember to get the canvas all covered. Here's the beautiful thing with painting with acrylics is, even though this is a very beginner class, anybody can do it, everybody's painting is going to turn out different. So look at how that blends. So what we want is all those colors to melt together to get this gorgeous blue moon with a bit of a halo around it. Don't worry about it looking specifically like mine. Just enjoy the process. So now I'm going to dip into my black, and I'm going to create my first tree. So I use my brush flat, and then I turn it sideways so it's wider at the bottom and it comes up thinner. I'm going to go right off the canvas, and then I'm going to come up to the top here. So I've created my one tree. I'm using a 12 by 12 canvas today, so I'm just doing the trunks of the tree. Now I'm going to create another one beside it, and I'm probably going to have that going on the same angle. Maybe this one goes around the moon a little bit, like that. So we're not creating branches yet, we're just creating the trunks of the tree. Isn't that pretty? So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to an angle brush. Now if you have an angle brush, that's perfect, or you can use a square. And I'm going to start to bring little branches off of this. So we push hard to begin with, and then as we push hard and then come out soft, soft, soft. Push hard, come out soft, soft, soft. Push hard and come out soft. So we want our branches to have little branches off of them. Branches off of branches. Don't be afraid to go right into your moon. We want them nice and thin at the ends. That's why we add hardly any pressure at the ends. Let this tree be your beautiful expression of creativity. Let them flow across with a nice softness on the end. And we like to create a nice little junction, I use that word, when it joins the tree. So almost like a little triangle when it joins the tree. Let's have some little branches come off this one and a branch off that one. Again, this is a beginner painting. It's great for anybody. Let's have a branch coming this way just for some interest. Give it a little swoop. And a little branch coming off with a branch and a branch. Maybe there's another one that comes this way. So you can see that this painting is different than this one. And isn't that wonderful that every day we are creatively different? What I love about painting is it totally gets us out of our head. So now I've got a little round brush, and you can use any brush that you want. And I'm going to put, there's little dots which create the flow of how the cherry blossoms go. So I'm going to turn it upside down and use the hard end of my brush, not the bristles, the hard end. I'm going to dip into my white, and I'm going to start thinking about what is the pattern? How do I want my cherry blossoms to flow? Like they're scattering in the wind. So you create this little pathway of how you think your cherry blossoms, and you can go right over top of the branches, are going to flow. And then how do they flow down here? Which way are they blowing? Mine are blowing that way. Nice little dots. And then I'll clean off the end of my brush and I'll dip into the pink. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some pink. So your first dot will always be a little bigger, and let the little ones come towards the end like they're just scattering off. Sometimes I whisper when I'm painting. It's quite funny. But I whisper because I'm like, oh, let's do it so softly. Sometimes I sing. So there we go. We have our pattern where our cherry blossoms are going to go. So now I turn my brush the other way, and I'm going to dip into my pink, and I'm going to dip into my white. So I have two colors, and it is just a little 4-stroke pattern. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make them lighter. You can make some darker. By adding the pink and then the white, you get a 2-tone cherry blossom. You can make some just pink, but I really like adding the white in because it really makes them pop on this painting. You can make some smaller. You can make them close together. Just have fun. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got one there that's white. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of pink on it. That's a great thing about acrylics. We can just go over top. So I am following the pattern of my little dots that I made. So you don't need to load up every time. And if you want, you can add a little colored dot into the middle. You could even add yellow into the middle of them if you felt like it, if you had more time. What I'm doing is just showing you this easy painting that people will be like, oh my goodness, you painted that. And you can do this with pastels and crayons, pencil crayons. Look how pretty that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. You could even do a little mantra song while you're painting these. Painting is so good for your brain because you can't think of anything else while you're painting. It's healthy for your brain. It's great for the right side of your brain, which is the creative side. Lots of people are stuck in the left side of their brain thinking about what they have to do and the lists that they have and how are they going to do this and how are they going to do that. And by working with the right side of our brain, it gives it a break. So if that left side starts creeping in saying, oh my gosh, that's not good enough, or it doesn't look like the teacher's, you just tell it to go play for a while and you just stick with the right side of your brain and enjoy the process of painting. So if you can believe it, we are almost finished with creating our cherry blossoms. I'm going to add a few up here. Wasn't that fast and easy? Maybe I will just add some yellow centers because we have time. So pretty. If you're watching this in the winter time here, I am so looking forward to spring. And actually I have some little bulbs that are coming up. So I'm not sure what's going on with the weather, but I'm happy to enjoy and be grateful for what we have right now. There we go. So I'm going to turn my brush to the other end, and because I have some yellow, ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to add little yellow centers to them. So I'm just dotting, and I'm going to bring this up close so you guys can see it. But the yellow center is very pretty. And isn't that easy to do? Don't have to use the brush, you just use the hard end of the brush. You could use red in there even if you wanted to, or black. That's the great thing, you just use the colors that you have. And if you just want to paint and you don't have the colors that I've used today, just paint. Create this with any colors you want. Maybe it'll become an abstract. Have I got all the centers? I'm getting there. Isn't that pretty with the yellow? It just makes those cherry blossoms pop. And I'm going to bring that close for you. Look at how pretty that is. So we created that painting in 12 minutes, 13 minutes. I went quite fast. It might take you half an hour to 45 minutes, but use what you have or have somebody pick some supplies up for you from the dollar store. Dollar store is great, not very expensive, and you can get canvases and paints and brushes, less than $8. So enjoy yourself. I'm glad that you joined my class today in my home studio. And I look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful, creative, and playful day. Until next time.